this is how to use Citizen DJ for your Soundtrap thing, your Soundtrap files. This is a more advanced approach. In the past, we've just taken samples and just used them as intros. But this year, we're actually going to try to take a real cut up sample with drum beats and try to actually use it in Soundtrap. This is a lot more difficult, but maybe even if you don't use this lesson, this will give you some ideas of what you can or cannot do with samples. All right, so first go to Google. I'll type in Citizen DJ. And you'll notice that the first thing that comes up when you Google it is the Citizen DJ homepage. So that's pretty easy, right? Now, there's different things you could do. You could explore sounds, remix, and download using sounds using your favorite software, all right? So let me just do a very quick review. There's different collections here you could check out. And the easiest way to get a hold of this is just to click Browse and Download, because it uses very little of your computer, right? And you could just listen to something. Hit play.
Eyes, you've gone and walked the baby up again.
Cool, and if you like it, you just click Download. All right, if you click Download, it goes into your download folder, right? You can see it over here, or if you go over to your download folder, you'll also see it over here. And just a reminder, you could easily just take it, click it, and just drag it straight. Whoops, hold on. You could click it and literally just drag it straight into Soundtrap, right? So this is just this is the easy entry approach, right? You could just take it, drag it straight to Soundtrap.
Eyes, you've gone and walked the baby up again. Oh, when I suppose I'll have to put it.
All right, and you take that, and then all of a sudden, you could just change the size of it. Let's say you just want it to be 1 measure long. You could do it like that, and then you could just add a drum beat. So this is, again, the entry way of doing this. You go to loops, and then let me just delete this here. Let's just click drums, and let's just add a drum beat. Let's do Beanie Full. I'm not even being picky what beat I'm using right now. I just want to show you. Here we go.
Eyes, you've gone and walked the baby up again.
Right, so that's just a very easy way to do an introduction to a song. All right, that's entry level. All right, let's do something a little bit more complex. This is not going to be for everyone, but maybe this will give you some ideas as far as experimenting. Let's go back to Citizen DJ, and let's go back to the home page of Citizen DJ. All right, the home page of Citizen DJ, if you click over to Explore, what it'll do is it'll take you to a matrix. Now, this does require a better internet connection, where you just take your cursor, and if you drag it, whoops. You just drag it until you find something you like. Sure, let's say I like that. You could just stop right there. And then you have a couple different options. It says play in context.
This has been a presentation of the Library of Congress. Visit us at LO. This has been a
All right, it says remix it. And I'll take you to this drum beat thing over here. And what it does is it takes the sample you just listened to and it plays very small pieces of that sample. If you click the play button.
Library of this.
So you notice it said it cut up this as a presentation. A library of Congress.
This.
Right? And so it cuts it into little pieces. And then when you hit play, for example, it adds a drum beat to it.
Library of this. Library. Library of this. Library. Library of this. Library.
It already starts mixing it up for you. Now, just like a drum machine, like the drum machine in Soundtrap, you can actually mix things around if you don't like something, right? So just add this here.
Library. Library. Library.
Let's just keep it like that. It's more simple. All right. Now, there's different things you could do. You could just download that one part if you want. So say you just want this one sample, right? You could just download that. Say you just want this one. You could just do that one, right? But you could also download the whole entire beat. And the way you could download the whole entire beat is if you click record, right? Now, I suggest you click record first, and what it does is it creates some blank space in the front of your sample, so that way when you actually throw it into Soundtrap, you can see where the beat actually starts, all right? Let's click record. So now it's recording, and I'm gonna hit play.
Library, this 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 library.
Good, say that's all I want, right? Say I don't like the drum beat, I could just change it. Let's try it.
This library, this library, this library, this
Yeah.
library, this 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 library.
Good. When I'm done, I could hit stop recording. And what it does is it throws into my downloads different samples that I played with, okay? Let me just take this here, and I'll just drag it to Soundtrap. So that's what I just did. Now you can see where the different samples happen, because let me hit the unmagnet thing, because this is not going to be the unlock thing, because it's not going to be absolutely clear. You can see where the samples start because I left blank space. Here's the first one.
This library, this library, this library, this library.
Right, and here's the next one. Whoops, what's going on? Oh, it's doing the loop. All right, here's the next one.
This library, this library, this library, this library, this.
All right, so I have different things I can play with. All right, now the next thing is that we want to make sure that it's actually the same exact tempo, because this is going to mess things up. Notice it says 90 BPM. You want to make sure that when you go over here, when you click tempo, it's the same exact thing, right? If it's 120 BPM, it's going to sound messed up when you click the metronome, right? And then so make sure that's set correctly. And then don't use the metronome yet, because it's not starting exactly clean. You need to splice the loop. So you go over to the beginning of the loop, and then this is where you could splice it. What I suggest you do is you click on the magnifying glass so you could see a closer view of what's going on. You could keep on pressing it, and eventually you actually see the sound wave itself. So you could bring it up to the very front of that sound wave, right? If you go to edit, whoops, I forgot to select it. If you go to edit, you could split the region, right? Or you could just use like Command E. And what it does is it makes sure that the loop starts in the very beginning of what you just decided, okay? Of what you created in Citizen DJ. Here it is.
This library, this library, this library, this library, this library, this library.
All right. Now, let's say I don't want the rest of it, just for this demonstration. You can just easily click magnet, and that should pretty much, if you spliced it in the right spot and then split it, I'm using just Control E, it should pretty much get you in the right spot. All right, let me hit the loop function. Let's see how it sounds.
This library, this library, this library, this library, this library, this library, this library.
Cool, and then the way to check it is you turn on the metronome, and if you splice it correctly, it should be with the metronome.
This library, 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 this library.
Okay, close enough for this example. All right, but you could be more meticulous if you want it to be more precise. All right, now that you have it with the metronome, you could add other loops. So go over here. Let's add. Let's add some synth. All right, anyway, you could go on forever for that. So anyway, that's just some ideas. Have fun.